hard. Sometimes, it's hard to get them in the bedroom.
Huh? I guess
What's
so.
up, fellas?
Hello, Bam.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hey.
I'm good.
How are you? Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Happy Father's Day.
How was your weekend?
Not every day my sons tell me Happy Father's Day.
Good
It was good. I don't remember it. Oh no, I remember. It was good. It was a good weekend. We had some family come in from Houston, not to see us, but just to come to Rockport. So we saw them while they were here. And then Sunday was just a good day in general. Got to Kayla's parents came over and we had chicken fried steak and bread pudding. So anytime you get chicken fried steak and bread pudding, it's hard to
day.
complain. Yep.
That's true. Very good, very good. How's Kayla doing?
Pregnant. Still.
How many week? What
Yeah.
week is she on now?
Today's due date.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, today is the date in which they made up as her due date.
Right.
So she still feels fine. We were out and about earlier. And yeah. Eleanor came 5 days late, and this is about how Kayla felt on Eleanor's due date. Just kind of like going through the motions, walking around the store, and just living her life. So,
Right.
kind of where she's at right now, living her life.
Good. That's good.
Well, Bill, I was gonna ask you. I was looking on the internet, like how much a baby costs per month, like within the first year, and there were like a range from like 200 to 1,500. What is
Well,
an accurate number?
yeah, in that range. I would say for us, quite a bit lower, like on the lower end of that range, because we don't do any child care. We don't. She doesn't go to daycare. Since we both work from home, we kind of watch her, and that's helps offset that. Diapers are not cheap. Um, I think when we go to the store to get diapers and wipes, it's like $70, and you're gonna go do that every 2 weeks or so. So
Wow.
$150 just diapers and wipes. And then that first year, depending on if you're doing formula or not, that'll add a lot of cost. If you're breastfeeding, then that's free 99. But even then, like with that, you have bottles. If you're gonna like last year, last time with Eleanor, Kayla was still working, so she had to buy bags, little baggies, and then she would pump and then save the milk, and so you're purchasing that, but that's pretty negligible expense. And then clothes, that's like whatever you want it to be. If you want to go out and get her a new outfit for every holiday or whatever, then you can. But baby clothes are pretty cheap. Like you go to Walmart or Target or wherever, and it's just like you can get a pack of 4 onesies for $13, and 4 onesies. By the time she wears each of those onesies twice, she's already grown to the next size. So it's just, I mean, that was one of the things that we worried about going into. And people say all the time, like, I'm not gonna have kids until I'm financially prepared. Well, so you're not gonna have kids ever, is what you mean to say. But then you're like, okay, well, practically, what does it look like? And then you go to your internet research, and you're like, holy crap, $1,500 a month? That's crazy. That's a mortgage. But really, I would say for us, it's been on the lower end of that range. I would say between $200 and $300 a month. Now, if you go do childcare, that's where it'll really get you. I know like a full-time daycare, like full-time daycare, you're gonna be running a couple grand a month. So like that's why like a lot of people will just quit their job because I can either pay a daycare that much or I can just do it myself. If you don't have a good job, that is. If you have a good job, you keep a good job, but you're a cashier at, the grocery store, you ain't making much more than daycare anyway, so might as well just
Mm-hmm.
double down. But yeah, I don't know. We prior to having Eleanor, we made our payments on time and had enough left over to go out to eat and celebrate holidays and birthdays and weren't pinching pennies. And then we had her, and I don't notice anything that's changed on our like month-to-month expenses. So I anticipate the real expenses to come in the like teenage years.
Right.
Based on whatever their interests are, Like, oh, you want to play tennis, rackets and shoes and tournaments and private lessons, and then
Pretty
oh
much
no,
any
you don't want
sport,
to do
yeah.
tennis. You want to be a cheerleader. Well,
Right. Yep. Also.
yeah, we have some students right now that are at cheer camp in Austin, and it was like $2,800 to be a cheerleader.
Woo.
That's going to be your home and away uniform, your pom-poms, your megaphone, your shoes, all of your equipment, plus, the 1 week camp up at UT Austin. So it's just like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think those are the more expensive years. Car payment when that time comes. Ugh. I think there's some people out there that make it more dramatic. Like, oh, kids are so expensive. Babies are so expensive. It's just like probably the same people that are complaining about Netflix being expensive because it used to be $6.99 and now,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now it's
20
10.
bucks. What it is, yeah. So, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And it's like, yeah, it's not.
Hmm.
Cool. Anyway, in the Kingdom of Wales,
Yes. Yes.
my
Catch us up. Catch us up.
14-year-old King Philip,
Hmm.
who is betrothed to be married to the beautiful
Princess of
Christina.
Fashion.
Yep.
Genius.
Princess of Fashion. She's a genius, and she is of the bear lineage.
Prime bear lineage right there.
Yep. She's
High
cynical.
demand
Don't
bear
love that.
lineage.
She's arbitrary. Don't love that. She's temperate, so it kind of bounces off the arbitrary. She's charming. Yeah, and just a few
Cynical.
months.
Cynical.
In just a few months, in 7 months, we learn what her trait will be, her lifestyle trait. So that'll be big.
She's pretty good. You already got pretty good intrigue, pretty good stewardship.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping stewardship focus. Unfortunately, Bear, her father has allowed her to be mentored by somebody of a martial background, so I'm a little bit worried about what that's going to turn into. But if he ends up, we're not shy of some very powerful women in this family. So
That is true. That is true.
yep, that's what I'm up to.
Any thoughts on who might have done the murder?
No info yet.
Any speculations? Any theories from you?
No, not yet.
Not really. Anybody?
I don't think it. No. I don't know. I mean, things got kind of sketchy when I started going over to Ireland, but I don't know. I think somebody in the family maybe.
Sure.
No clue.
What to say? How about the Empire of Bear, España? Going on
Bear's
there?
good. Empire Bear's good. Just gotta defend my allies from attack as usual, and then keep on building buildings and converting my culture, and go a little bit tall here. I mean, I'm pretty wide, but go tall from here on out for a good period of time would be good. Because my development is poor for how much I've worked on it, so just keep it going. I don't even have tribal era innovations yet, all unlocked.
Wow.
I still have
Yeah.
coated armor to unlock. 12 years.
Alright, you ready to go night?
What?
Sorry, my kid came in.
Oh.
Steven, you got some factions, or what's going on with you? Oh,
You wanna
I do. I have a faction trying to declare independence over here in my eastern part
we got a baby joining us.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
The stream? Let's see the stream. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Eleanor. That's a good Texas fan there. Wow. Familiar with that, Bear? That's like there's like a streamer who's like a Houston, Texas fan who does that. That kind of like pounds his hands and does the finger.
Oh,
The dog is here too.
Whole family.
Yeah, that's good.
what's your name?
Good name.
Good night. Good night.
Caleb.
Oh. Special guest tonight.
I like it. I like it.
Yep.
I'm a fan. That's good. That's good. It'll be a good night. It'll be a good. We'll have good fortune this night, I think.
That's right.
Yep, I got two. I got Independence War on my eastern side. Two of my larger factions or vassals. One has 6 titles. One has 4. Combining to overthrow me. And then I have a Liberty War from 7 vassals who want my crown authority lowered from 2 to 1. And I ain't giving either of them. Damn it. So I'm still in between 2 wars. I'm technically losing the one against the Independence War right now. But I'm winning the war against the vassals. So I'm trying to take the vassals out first. And then go win this Independence one. Because the Independence one is kind of a little further away. The vassals keep kind of coming for Genoa and trying to siege it. But, you know, got 7 walls. 4th level of 7 there. So it's not exactly easy to go down. Thankfully. The walls of Genoa special building is +2 4th levels. Yeah, do some of that. My guy is a stewardship kind of focused guy, so kind of focused on, you know. I gotta focus on expanding eastward though, because France hates me. They have a -100 opinion of me.
Hold up a minute. He said kind of a stewardship focus. You're a 19 years of age with 27 stewardship.
Cool.
It's in the blood.
Bounce.
It's in the blood.
Oh,
The grandfather was Midas touched. He was strong at that.
Wow.
So, let's see. Yep, he's definitely stewardship focused. My wife as well, thankfully. I married a. She wasn't really a lowborn per se, but she come from an obscure house. But unfortunately, she's paranoid, so it's not great. So we try to seduce her, if you will. So hopefully get that going, and I gotta expand eastward because I'm just afraid that France is gonna, with their -100, is gonna start thinking about, hey, I can start taking some of this guy's territory here. Which I wouldn't really like. So I gotta keep up with the Joneses. Because they keep going east. Alright, I guess we can begin. Onward bound. Helps me get the. One of my allies. I have like two. I have one ally in Bulgaria and one ally in Byzantine. He kind of sailed in. So now that guy's massive army is trying to chase him, but he left his siege at. What happens? Hey, do you know what happens if? So discharge entrenched region bear.
Yeah.
It says 0% if I discharge him and offer him nothing.
It'll
that
still
mean-
bring his stuff down a level.
It'll still discharge him?
No, it'll just affect his that little bar. Like it'll bring him down a few points, but you won't actually discharge him.
So I could pay 500 gold and they'd have 44% chance of discharging. I love the sound of that. I guess I'll just leave him for now. Oh, you think it's worth doing it? Can I redo it again later?
Yeah, you better do it good later.
I'll just try it now and see what happens. 0%. I can entrench again in a year. Or end
Yeah.
it again in a year, so yeah, I guess I keep shooting for a year, just keep trying to end it. Okay. got minus 35% against the Independence War, but plus 81 on the. Well, I'm trying to win there.
Rick. For Jacques swayed. Oh, I was swaying him.
Oh, you've been swaying
What?
the Emperor of France?
Yeah, I forgot why. Oh, I wanted to marry the. I wanted to make. I was doing something else.
See your grace.
That though.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing really happened because I'm 14.
It's true. It's true.
10 more days. Figure out what trait my wife has.
Whew. Powerful marriage there.
Yeah, it can. I mean, it really. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's more. It's kind of lopsided towards her family. So yeah, it's powerful. Not much am I doing, but we'll take
You
it.
know, a daughter marrying a king is nothing to scoff at.
That's right. And she's freaking. Gosh, she's a
Wait,
freaking murderer.
Yep, there you go.
She's a murderer. She got that bear blood.
Yeah, she does.
She's barely 15. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Got that bear blood, man.
Runs in the family.
I mean, I haven't played at all that playstyle, the intrigue or the diplomacy kind of route. So I don't know the value of it personally, but like I really don't even know the value of it to have my spouse to be well at those things.
Well, maybe you should explain, Bear.
It's probably the more complicated.
Yeah.
You know, armies just march and kill, and then stewardship you just buy
Kill.
stuff and then march and kill people with mercenaries.
Right.
It's all in the sway, right? In the scheme.
It's all in the murder. All the murder, the fabricating hooks, and the abductions.
Fabricating
So,
hooks.
yeah, so that's one of the things you can unlock in the tree, in the intrigue tree, is fabricating hooks, and you do exactly what that. It's like fabricating a claim. Instead, you fabricate a hook. But it's like your personal scheme. It's like a hostile scheme. So you don't need like your counselor to do it. Um, and you so with hooks you can force marriages. You could
Okay.
revoke
Okay.
titles, imprison
Uh,
people.
that's something that like if I had the ability that I right click on somebody and I fabricate a hook like that, or is it through my
Yeah, yeah,
council? Okay, no.
yeah. I can show you something. I can do so. Let's say I found. All right, let me look at my vassals and see which one doesn't like me. And the penalty, this guy doesn't like me. All right. So this guy is a -37 opinion. All right, I don't want him to have a title. Why doesn't he like me? It doesn't really matter. But I want to revoke his title. Oh, I have a claim on the title, so it doesn't really work that well. But so in the hostile scheme section, you can fabricate a hook, and you have I have a 90% chance to fabricate hook on this guy
Yeah, and you have that high chance because
because
you have higher intrigue.
I get 42 from my spy master. I get 38% from my intrigue.
The wife.
Yeah, yeah, the wife's in there too. And yeah, all these things add up to 90%. And then secrecy is the chance that someone's gonna find out you're behind it. So 95% means probably not gonna find out. And then once you get that hook, you can do a lot of different things. You can arrange a marriage. Let's say I want my wet nurse with this guy. Well, I can use a hook, and it would happen. That's a useless marriage. But if you had like a daughter and you wanted to marry, get someone in the title line, I can then use that hook to get something happening. Get some of that blood mixed in. Um, and if you want to imprison somebody, you can also use a hook, and you can have a higher chance of imprisoning them.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So if I don't have the fabricate hook button unlocked, and my wife who has a high, um, she has a high intrigue, but I don't have that button. Like, how do I leverage her intrigue?
I guess you wouldn't really be able to.
Yeah, it's not one of those. Unfortunately, kind of like diplomacy. Also, is kind of like. I mean, you get some benefit if your wife is high in diplomacy, but it doesn't really help
Yeah.
that. It's not as beneficial. Like if you are an intrigue person, your wife is high in intrigue, then it does kind of multiply. Stewardship matters a lot.
Yeah,
There's some of them
so,
that don't really matter so much.
yeah, I mean, it would just bonus your intrigue stat, so it'll just give you a boost.
It just makes you.
But you,
Yeah, whatever you have, it already is.
yeah, but kind of the most,
I'd say it is more complicated. I think it's just very different than the other playstyles.
right.
Military,
Yeah, no, I
straightforward.
generally understand what it does. I
Right.
haven't done it, but I generally understand. I just didn't know how to, like, if obviously my wife is gonna, has a 24 intrigue, pretty impressive. So I was just curious, like, how I could use that to my benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not unless you're intrigue, your spouse. I mean, kind of whatever you are. Unless you're that trait, then it's hard to actually.
Right.
Like, unless you just want to pick that trait and not get any of the benefit of the like the added experience from being that trait.
Right.
Then I mean you can do it that way. That's not very better off just playing the trait of your guy. You got a perk. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of just a mix of murdering people and marrying people. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Like, yeah, just deception. It's
Deception and cunning.
yeah.
Like my
That's
daughter's the Empress of France right now, and I did that through probably murdering a few people.
Probably.
I did murder the
Probably.
father actually. I did murder Emperor Louis. Yeah, I did murder the father to make this happen. Hmm.
No surprises there.
Yep. Yeah. Eventually, I'm working on becoming Empire of France being bear. You kind of so like I gotta like fabricate a hook on him. I gotta make sure he accepts the marriage, and then once that marriage is like lined up, I'd kill him so he doesn't have any more kids, and then it becomes mine. Or I can marry like the third person in line, and then marry the other two kids in front of him, or murder the other two kids in front of him, and then it becomes mine. Pretty good.
Yep, very good.
Someone is plotting against me, according to my spy master.
Mm.
Gosh.
Somebody wants to end the Bill line here.
This is just ridiculous at this point.
That's how I felt with my last guy too. Nice. My wife did become my lover. I'll take that. It's nice having Byzantine as an ally, though. Also, one of the things I kind of screwed up on, Bill, is I had like 2 alliances I could have made whenever I became this new younger guy. One, I married off to King of Bulgaria, who was strong, but he was old. And so I married like my guy, or I think it was one of my sisters, to like his younger son, not his heir.
Yep.
And so but then he died. The main king died shortly after that, and then now I have the ally to him, which he's like a vassal of the other brother, so he only has like 1,000 men versus 4,000 men. So that was kind of dumb of me. I should have like waited and been like, oh, okay, wait until that guy dies, and then you can kind of get a better deal. Well, with Byzantine, I married my sister to him. I betrothed my half-sister to him, and he's 20 years old. So that's like, okay. That one has a good chance of kind of lasting for a while. He's only 20. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I kind of goofed there, because you want those allies to hit.
Right.
Thankfully, I got the big one right, Byzantine. gonna ask you, Bill. I was kind of learning more about like the Great Schism because like we're in this time frame, and I think about 100 years from now, not even like 50 years from now, there's supposed to be the Great Schism between Eastern Orthodox and then Catholicism, between like Byzantine and Holy Roman, what will eventually be the Holy Roman Empire, and kind of like how that started there, like why it happened. But like for you, kind of like more recent times, like how different, like if you like, is your denomination of the church Baptist?
Yep.
So like how different is like, let's say like Corpus or San Antonio or anywhere, if they had a Baptist church, like how much similarities do they have versus like differences?
What do you mean?
Well, like, you know, like a Catholic church in San Antonio does the same thing as a Catholic church in Rockport, does the same thing as a Catholic
Oh, I see what you're
church
saying.
in New York.
Yeah. Well, we're fully autonomous.
Okay.
So that's a big difference between the Baptist denomination and the Catholic denomination. So like we decide on our own what we're gonna preach on this week. We decide on our own if we're gonna build a new building. If we are going to do it, we decide if we're gonna do it debt free. If we're gonna take out a loan, like
Right.
we just do it all, right? It's time for me to pick my lifestyle. Got a terrible. I need to go off to university.
That's right. That's what helped my guy. I didn't have that high stewardship until I went to university.
Yep. But your wife, Elusive Shadow, you ain't getting murdered. You ain't getting murdered with that.
She's saving your ass.
Yeah, going off to uni.
UT. I mean, U of W. I don't know. University of Canterbury. UC Canterbury.
Chance of 5% planes.
Because basically kind of what happened, I thought was interesting with the schism, is that Catholicism, you know, at the time, was all, like, basically all of Byzantine and all of, like, we having, you know, all their Catholic kingdoms, which is basically almost everybody.
Yep.
And if you look at our map, you click to religion, like, yeah, it's all Orthodox or Catholic.
Right.
Insular and Irish,
Yeah,
randomly.
So kind of to backtrack onto that, yeah, so like we don't have to go through the channels of like there's nobody, yeah, there's no bureaucracy, there's nobody that's over our church specifically. Now we have elected to be part of like a cooperative program, so there's several thousand churches in that cooperative program, and that is more or less an opportunity for accountability and just networking and stuff like that. So if we start going kind of cray-cray and other people in our cooperative program start noticing, like, man, we're seeing a lot of things, we're hearing a lot of things, people are leaving your church left and right, and they're saying that y'all are doing this or that or whatever, and we just want to, like, we're all on this same team here, we're in it together, we just want to touch base and see what's going on. And then likewise, we can do the same for other churches that are kind of acting out. So I think a church that elects to not be in a cooperative program like that, that's just kind of flying solo, is really opening themselves up to, at some point, like, our character is going to fall and we're going to make dumb decisions, and then our pride's going to kick in and we're not going to ask, like, hey, hold me accountable to these dumb decisions. We're just going to keep doing them. And so we do participate in that. And so there's several thousand churches. There's also other benefits to it, like if we just are struggling with our children's program on Sunday mornings for, 5th grade and under. And we just need advice. We need to figure out what to do. And we can reach out to some of these other people in the cooperative program. They can share with us some things they've done that have worked well, or just different things like that. When we were in the transition between pastors, we used that program to have people come in and preach for us over that 2-year period, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's some benefits that come with it, but there's nothing that we have to go to them and get approval on stuff. If anything, if we start doing stuff that's so the same cooperative program we're a part of recently just removed a church from the program that has a senior pastor that's a woman, and our cooperative program doesn't agree with that, and so they didn't want to make any changes. They felt she was called to be their next pastor, and they're like, okay, that's fine, no big deal, but you're gonna have to find another program to do that with, another collective, another collaborative, whatever you want to say. And so there's some accountability that comes with it, but generally it's I've seen it to be very successful. But yeah, we don't have to go to them like for approval on anything.
Gotcha.
And they don't come down and say, all right, this year we're going to be teaching in this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, yeah, you're right. That really came about around this time. I was doing a little bit of studying on it recently because I recently did a job application and it asked about like my thoughts on like church structure, and let's see what it said. Explain your understanding on church governance, structure, and leadership. I said I generally disagree with the episcopal governance structure that we see, for example, in today's Catholic Church. I see more value and benefit in a congregational government structure that maintains deacons, elders, trustees, but depends on the input congregational vote. So like when we vote on something as our church, everybody votes. So if it's going to be like, all right, we're going to hire, we're going to amend the budget to increase by 60,000 so that we have room to hire a worship leader.
Right.
Finance team looked at giving, they think we can afford it. Personnel team has, done a study on the, average price or cost or salary for somebody in that position. That's how we came to this number. Raise your right hand if you're for it, left hand if you're against, type of deal. And my vote as a pastor is the same as like somebody that just joined last week, right? Now, if you are like this, how the Catholic Church is, they don't have a quarterly business meeting where they get to vote on stuff. Like that just comes from the higher ups. They decide if you're going to get another staff, and if you are, how much money you're going to get to use for that staff, and different things like that.
Right. Yeah. There was like a Southern, I don't know if it was a Southern Baptist or a Baptist conference that happened. Is your church like involved in that at all, or?
Not very actively. Like there's enough happening like in the higher up leadership of SBC. It's just really bad. Like there's bad stuff that happens in every, there's a reason we make inappropriate comments about the Pope, right? or the priest or the whatever.
Right.
Like, there's enough backing to justify some of those comments. And right now it just happens to be our turn. And by our turn, I mean the Baptist turn to be like in the focal point of the iron sights, and rightfully so. I think there's been some stuff that's come out that there has been like less than transparent people.
I haven't heard the news.
It's just like, the SBC, Southern Baptist Convention, there are some people, there's like a, 200-page document that just kind of outlines like some abuse of power, some just stuff that you would expect to hear about in like a company like Riot Games. It's like, you know, not treating people fairly, inappropriate comments, you know, people in leadership being unfaithful in their marriage, and it's just kind of like when you go through it and you dig in and you look at it, it's not like, you know, there's not this, you know, underground, you know, Epstein situation, right? But there is some stuff that you're just like, well, this is supposed to be our church leadership. This doesn't look good. This definitely is not good. So it's kind of like, since it's connected to the church, it's kind of being blown up into more than it is. If it's something that just came out on a typical corporate company, you would just be like, oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Right.
But because
It's not a typical corporate company.
yeah, exactly. We're supposed to be above reproach, and when stuff like that comes out, you're not. So typically, like the SBC is like based. I mean, their headquarters is there in Nashville, and that's kind of the bigger part of it. We are more closely tied to SBTC, so it's Southern Baptist of Texas, and so it's just kind of a different branch of it. I've seen a little bit higher character and leadership in that than the SBC. SBC gets like kind of political.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's like a pretty large organization there, so.
Yeah.
Bigger you get, the more powerful, the more likely to be corrupt, I think, in
Yep.
general. But, interesting.
Well, I gained one stewardship.
Dear Lord, the Northern Army is still coming.
Oh,
And
Spain?
France has asked me to defend them in a war against the Northern Army.
The Jarls? Don't help them. Let them suffer. No, I mean, obviously do what's best for you. My best interest is they continue to lose. Because I'm like kind of I'm in the Cold War against them right now.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is preggo.
Nice.
I'll take it. Lol. I was at minus 40% war score, and then I took over the guy's capital, and now I'm at plus 92. Take that, sucker. vassals that I could trust. It's not so easy sometimes. We're in that vassal war, and there's just a lot of people that need to kind of go through and see if they have anything worthwhile.
King of England is a 2-year-old inbred child.
Oh dear.
We'd love to see that.
You're already on it. You're already taking him.
Oh crap. My wife cheated on me.
What? Send her to the dungeon. Wait, Wait, huh? My daughter? Don't send her to the dungeon.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Secret stays between us.
France is losing 2 wars right now, Steven, so if you wanted to attack them, be good. I don't know if that's something you want to do.
You have a vassal helping him though?
Nope, I left him.
Mm.
I'm technically in the 2 wars, but not doing anything to help him. So what would happen? Surrender would be... Oh, they become independent? Okay. And
Who's that?
then they would... Northmen would get the title. The Northmen are back! Thuringia? Thuringia is the one that'll be independent. And kind of like around Normandy, I guess they'll have this Northmen. Do you even have a Casus Belli against them?
I have a vassal that has the claim on the Kingdom of Francia.
Oh,
Could take a
looking
good chunk out of it, and I think I'm gonna do it. Oh, I just need to do a little housekeeping first, so that will kind of put something in him that.
France, West France. Huh. It's 65, that guy? That has a press claim?
Yeah.
Run.
What happens if he dies? Do I lose it?
Yep,
So if I start the war, he dies.
and be
War's over.
invalidated. Yep.
Ugh. I'll try it. I'll go for it anyway. He's 66. His health is poor. He's infirm. Ah, I can't do it. No, there's just no way. He's infirm. Nah, I can't do it. Would you do it, Bear? 66 years old, infirm. Poor. But he's an herbalist.
I don't know.
I just don't see how he lives.
Yeah, it's a big war, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot to take. Wait, now he has 2 wars. What happened? He has 1 war now. What happened to the other one? I'll wait.
I have to murder my Kurt Chaplin because he has a learning of 2. And I probably wouldn't do it. That's your only claim.
What do you mean? War of France?
Yeah. Big big place though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pope, for another 1,000 gold. Thank you, Pope.
Start a feud with House Bear? Wait, what? Hold on.
Why would he do such a thing?
Wait, did you kill somebody?
Yeah.
You've racked my family with grief by killing the son of my cousin?
You don't even know his name.
I don't even know his name. Well, no, you're not going to be my rival. Nothing can bring him back. Sorry, he's gone, though. What can we do? What can the meta men do? Such reckless act.
I killed Martin Dedrew.
Why, Bear? Why?
Something to do with Mary. Oh, why did we do this?
Why have you done this?
So there's a guy in Province, the Craven. And he has a son named Benicet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's in jail. I don't like him. He wants some of my
good.
land. I don't want to give it to him. So that's why I was. That's also part why I go there. It's fine. Because you're actually doing me a favor. Probably gonna look like the guy. He's sitting in my jail. He's never coming out. He just offered $100 to get out. Nah. You can stay, buddy.
Yeah. You gonna kill him?
Ah, so I'm sitting in jail. I don't want the tyranny of it.
Oh. There's 8 agents killing the Pope or my little Archbishop with me.
Poor bastard.
pulled up on me.
Oh.
That's not what you want to see. Oh boy. That looks good. Hey.
What, you're trying to take Venice?
It's time, Bear. Those bastards need to end.
And Corsica?
And Corsica. And Parma here.
Oh, dang.
I gotta expand to keep up with France here. Ugh.
Run everybody. down through my dungeon.
Running through the dungeon.
Yeah, running through my dungeon, doing my tortures.
Making the rounds, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was trying to say, forgot about it. The schism between Eastern Orthodox and Catholicism, a lot of it had to do with centralization of power, where Catholics wanted the Pope to have the power, basically the majority of the power, and be able to make unilateral moves. And the Eastern Orthodox thought that it should have been up to like the bishops or the like this, basically the cities themselves, to come together and like together choose like on rules. Like one of the big ones was should priests be celibate or not? And a lot of the Eastern Orthodox believed and still believe that priests should not be celibate, or don't have to be. They could be, but they don't have to be celibate. And Catholic priests did. And so that was a big part of it. Another big part was like use of like whenever they do like the Eucharist, the use of like unleavened bread. I forget which one. I think the East wanted unleavened bread when they were doing the Eucharist stuff, and then the Catholics didn't care. It's like, yeah, it can be any kind of bread.
Yeah.
Kind of little stuff like that, like they changed like the Nicene Creed, which is like the major, back then, the major Christian creed of like, we believe in God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, kind of all that. Catholics just kind of unilaterally changed like some of the words in there, and then the people in the East are kind of like, what, you can't just change that without us having like a conference together to discuss like why you're changing that and what that means. So it's kind of one of those things, but little stuff like that just kind of kept adding up there, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I think those deep-rooted, thousands of years ago conflicts have created massive issues today.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, are we really going to have such a split over like leaven and unleavened bread, you know?
Right.
And it's like kind of a petty small thing that even people to this day are like be opposed to the church because we were that petty back then. We're still gonna be that petty today.
Oh yeah,
really.
yeah. They didn't even like. I think it was 1967 that the Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church even like started like having like dialogues together. It's like 1,000 years nearly after like all that happened.
Yeah.
With the pettiness finally be like, you know what? So yeah, it's not great. And then interesting with the Protestant Reformation, where that, as mentioned, if you put a large organization means gets more power. More power is more likely to corrupt, and basically a big part of it was that Catholics at the time were allowing people to pay the church for, I forget, there was a word, but basically it was you would pay and like do like a communion confession kind of thing, and then your sins would be forgiven.
Oh my boy, I like that.
Right, so it was kind of like something like you just pay to have your sins forgiven.
Seek indulgences?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
That's what it is in this game.
Right, that's what in this game is. Something, it might be that.
Communion?
Right. And then the Protestants were like, well, that's ridiculous. Faith, forgiveness of sins is not given through acts, it's given through grace. And then eventually, like, Martin Luther starts writing his thesis on why the Catholic Church is, being corrupt, basically. So that was interesting. Trying to learn more about that stuff, which I think is part of just human history at this point. So it's not even just like,
I'm getting bent over right now.
oh, what's happening? What's happening?
War. Just war.
Need help from ally?
Kinda do, but also nothing in it for you.
To make it worth my while.
The humors. Not like that.
Who's bending you over? You're only at war with one person?
Yeah, but I don't know why I'm getting bent over, but this guy is going up and not being nice.
Not being nice.
Yeah, so like, there's just 7,000 troops right here. They're also trying to fight for the land I'm trying to fight for.
Oh.
Yeah, I was sieging Somerset. I only had 2 months left out of an 18-month siege. And then this army of 10,000 rolled up on me. And now that same army of 10,000 hanging out here. Being mean.
Hey, my guy's a fortune builder. That's good.
Son?
Yeah. Didn't turn out too bad. Patient, humble, gluttony though.
Well, he's got to be human here. Gotta have something. Yeah, two of those people in those Independence War, I kind of doing the kind of the math there, Bear. They had like, I mean, they just have too many counties to kind of, for me to just like take all of them, I guess. So I was kind of like, I just ended up forgiving them, not taking anything, and now they like me. So it's like, okay, well, at least they like me. Because they were good. Yeah, one of the guys, Marshall, is pretty good. He's 27, so I didn't really want to just kind of toss him away if I didn't have to.
Oh. Your King of Aquitaine, your vassal, is betrothed to no other than Mr. Carling. House Carling, France.
Prince Mary, yeah, France, yeah.
Looks like they're trying to embed themselves. Literally. Oh, I need some more money.
Of treachery. People have been trying to murder me too, Bill. Thankfully, so
Tough
far.
world out there, man.
Yeah, so far not so bad. Thankfully.
$52, and I'm only feeling fine. Uh-oh. 100 thread. I love it.
Hunter Dread. You dirty dog, you dirty dog.
Why is my son married to a 32-year-old woman?
Hmm.
That's gonna change.
Plagues,
41 intrigue.
plagues are so exciting. What do you say?
I have 41 intrigue. Crazy. Everyone's gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Flanders. Duchy of Flanders. Oh, Flanders. Nice.
Up north, yes. No, I sailed for Corsica.
What's your renown now, Steven?
I'm at well known. 944.
What's the per month?
5.7. We got like 10 or something crazy.
I'm at 17.
Oh god. Conquistador.
What a war. What a war.
What happened? What happened?
I've just been at war for a long time, and I was about to win it, and then the King of England, the 3-year-old King of England,
Uh-huh.
they joined together to go against him.
Hmm.
And so there was 10,000 of them units. So they just, I was collateral damage. Yeah, I just got between them and what they wanted. But I was about to win, and then they just wiped everything.
Gotcha.
So it kind of set everything back, but I'm kind of pressing back in now.
What war are you fighting over, Bill?
I'm just trying to take over some more land here in Somerset. Against the English.
English, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to chip away at them. Trying to take over Somerset. A land I originally started out with. The home of my first capital.
Huh.
No, I think my first capital was actually in Devon. Yeah, it was in Devon. Could be mine again soon.
There you have it. Mallorca. So you're also taking islands over there, Bear.
Yeah, that's my de jure land.
De jure, I see.
Um,
What's happening in Bearland, Bear?
Bearland is bear. There's definitely some bear going on. Um. Just destroying titles, taking care of unruly vassals.
I have the opportunity to usurp the kingdom of Bavaria over here, and the guy hates me minus 100, so he wants all the stuff that I have. So I'm probably gonna do that after I finish Corsica here. One title away from finishing freaking
I just declared a holy war. Now the Pope wants to give me 1,300 gold. God. For how much Pope is single-handedly funding my entire empire.
So how do you think you got to like this point of like pretty much every character you have is so high into the Catholic world there?
I don't know.
I remember you past being able to swindle the Pope like this.
Swindling.
Popes.
Uh,
Multiple popes.
yeah. I do have a lot of. I am a religious icon. Maybe that's why.
I feel like everyone's been a religious icon. Almost everyone you've had has been a religious icon.
Yeah. We've all been high in piety in this area. You're only a devoted servant.
Yeah. Well, the Pope and I have a strange relationship.
Is that what you call it? Since you were a little boy?
Oh,
Back to Pope jokes.
no. Back to Pope jokes.
Yeah. I don't know why he likes me so much. I haven't figured it out.
That's interesting, though.
Actually, coming in more.
Oh. Miguel.
Oh, you accepted.
I do accept. Your Grace. Farewell, Miguel.
man.
Mm.
Bloodbath. Brutal. Just a brutal war. I mean, it's just brutal. And a slow burn. Fortunately, these cities that I'm going to be moving in on are pretty well established and good structures, and the
Mm.
King of England has really built that infrastructure up for me.
Finally, we have the battlements innovation. Upgrade my keeps. That is expensive. Well,
7 more days.
yeah, I was about to say we should probably get to saving point here. Whenever you're get to saving point, Bill.
Yeah. Took over Somerset.
Ah, very nice.
That was so painful, though.
Someone plotting to kill my son, Bear, who is your hostage.
Is it me?
I certainly hope not.
Jeez, 80% chance of success, and it failed.
Ugh.
I guess I'm good.
Yeah. Seems these.
Yep.
Interesting night of.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of walk me through what happened there, Bill. What happened in general?
Well, no, not a whole lot. I'm I was at 4 out of 7 domain limit, so I want to start, expanding my land. Um, so when the King of England died and a 3-year-old took the throne, I seized the opportunity to press my claim on Somerset here and went over there, kicked their butt, and started sieging Somerset. It was an 18-month siege.
Hmm.
I was already at like 70 or 64% war score, and there was 2 months left. And then out of the fog of war comes a unit of 10,000. But the guy I'm at war with only had like 1,400 available, so it was just a hostile army, not an enemy army, and he didn't have any allies. And what it was a bunch of these people, these English folk. I don't know. I guess when this kid took the throne, a bunch of other people were like not okay with him having the throne, so they
Right,
all
right.
rallied together and they were heavy. I mean, they were coming in hot, and so they weren't even really after me. They were just making a sweep of the land and kicking this little kid in the nuts, and then I was collateral damage. So they destroyed my army hard,
Hmm.
and then they obviously stopped my siege. My dudes retreated, and then they came back over and took back a couple of the counties I had already sieged. And so I went from like 70% war score to like negative 60% war score, and then I just now worked it back up because they ended up winning their war against the 3-year-old,
Hmm.
and then disbanded their army, went and did their own thing, and I was able to slowly push back in. So it should have been over, like should have been in and out a couple years, and instead it turned into I could literally declare the war at the beginning of the night, and I just finished it. A little bit of a tough break, but it's all good.
How about you, Bear?
Just little things here and there, nothing serious. Just keep on spamming buildings into my domain, being injected by the Pope. I mean, not that kind of injection. But I got them. I got plenty of jokes. Plenty of Pope jokes. Yeah, not too much. What about you?
I've effectively won those wars against the vassals and one step closer to conquering Venice, a step closer for Corsica. Trying to just, I'm offering vassalage to this guy, try to keep us united in the Burgundy kingdom here. Empire, I should say. And probably gonna usurp the kingdom of Bavaria next, try to take that over, take that guy's title. And then keep looking east there. Francia thankfully still bottled up with the Vikings there, but yeah, I'm just trying to build. I just got battlements, which is like a culture thing where you can upgrade your castle, like your keep, but it's very expensive. It's like 567 gold, so it's good, but yeah, it's just a lot of money. So I'm trying to look to do that on places that I can. That's a lot of money there. So, but yeah, overall, pretty good night. A good night. A good night.
I've got a question before we conclude. What's the point of constructing a new holding?
So, depending on the holding that you do, you can, like, cities improve, like, development. So if you construct one of those, that because you basically it'll make your county better there. So, like, you'll get more money kind of from that county. You can get more piety if that's what it kind of comes to there. Or just like other bonuses like development or gold. So
Gotcha.
in
And then
general, it's good. I mean, it's kind of like, so your capital one, the one that you're keeping all the time, you want to make sure that, yeah, you kind of construct as much holdings as you can in there, because that just boosts the kind of money that you get. from your capital.
Sure. Okay. And then do you just convert a city to a castle?
I think they stay cities where.
Yeah, so like each one of these holdings, you need one of each before you can build a fourth one that's a duplicate. So you need to keep a city and a temple before you can build another temple or another keep or another city. And once it's a city, it stays a city, but you can upgrade the city to a level 2 city, 3 and 4.
Okay.
In the city, you can see what it kind of gives you, and then you can also see what the castle gives you. Every county at least has one castle. You can have 2 castles. I usually just try to keep it at 1, unless it's a place I need to defend.
Yeah. Try to keep it to 1 if you can. Because then
So
it kind of counts as like 2 domains. If it's 2 castles, then it's 2 domains. So kind of like.
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't
so
really
have
do.
y'all been constructing holdings?
Yes.
Interesting.
I have wherever my primary title is, I try to max everything out in those areas before building anything else.
Yeah.
Anywhere else. At all.
Right.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like my capital is Corona.
Oh, okay. So you're saying.
So I want to max out Corona, and then I'll max out the Galacia, the Duchy, and then I'll max out the Kingdom, and then I'll span to whatever the Empire is. So
I'm way behind the 8 ball on that. Okay. And then I know I've talked about capital before, so I currently have my capital in a spot. I don't necessarily know that it's a good spot. It's not exactly a bad spot. It's just a spot. The culture is Welsh. I'm Cornish. This county is not of my culture. Should I be looking to try and move my county back to, my capital back to somewhere that's more better?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 11. That I usually look at is like you look at your development. That's kind of the big marker there. So like in the bottom right, you can pick the plus button, and then you have development that'll pop up for all the tiles there. So Devon has 11 development, which is pretty good. And the capital you have right now has 5.
Yeah, Devon's not mine yet.
Oh, okay.
So that was my original capital, was Devon.
Gotcha. So for now, I'm not seeing one that's popping out like because remember you can only change it once per lifetime. So since these guys are still pretty young, you're gonna want to make sure you get the right one. So there's nothing here that's popping out like, oh wow, you definitely should be.
If I take Devon, maybe Devon's a good spot.
Yeah. Or if you go, let me see if I look further east there. Anything that pops up. Yeah, I think Devon would be a good spot. Anything you see, Bear, that pops up?
I would say just keep it within your main title of Wales. That's probably what I would do. I don't want my capital outside of my main title.
That's true. So yeah, maybe it is good to. In that case, it might be better to keep it where it is than next. In that case, it's true. But yeah, I don't think you're in a bad spot.
Okay.
I think of all the places that you have, you're in a pretty good one there.
Okay, I just need to start constructing some holdings.
Yeah, like in that
Upgrading
capital
my
one.
stuff. Okay.
And there's some, like if you notice, what county is this? Like Morganwig. That has a castle, it has a temple, and then it has another option for a holding. So some counties have 3 tile options, and some have 2. So like where your capital is, there's only 2 tile options there. So you can construct a holding, but you're only going to have your castle, and then whatever there's a city or a temple there.
Right.
But if you have like this,
ideal.
Right. So ideally, it's a 3-person one because you get a temple, you get a city, and you get a castle.
Or Devon's a four plot.
And some are 4 plots, right? So then Devon, you can. I mean, you'd have to invest and build 3 holdings, but sometimes that gives you a bonus because now you get to choose what you want. And yeah, so exactly, 4 plots pretty good to have. Sometimes like special buildings like mine, the one I have, my capital has is like a 3 plot.
Mm-hmm.
What is yours? I think Sean's is a 3 plot too.
Mine's a 4.
Sean's a 4. Oh, Sean is a 4. So there you go. So yeah, Sean has 1 castle, 2 cities, and a temple. So the cities help him a lot with cash. Because most of the things that cities builds give you increased taxes and development. The temple obviously helps with some taxes too, as well as piety. And then the castle is, for defense purposes. And also can do some money stuff there. So I have my capital where I have it because it has a special building which gives +3 tax per month, and it has +2 fort level. So that one, just looking at where I'm at, realm-wise, that one by far gives the most gold. It gives 11 income per turn there. But a lot of that's for my own stewardship, so it's not necessarily for that. So I'm keeping that one, even though it's not a 3-plotter. I have a 3-plotter in Provence, which I could make my capital and keep all. Actually, it's actually a 5-plotter. Damn. So I could go there. A 5-plotter is really good. But yeah, this is pros and cons. There's pros and cons. But I think where you're at, you're looking good. You're in a good spot. That place isn't a bad place to be.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I just curious. I didn't know. Yeah, I haven't done much on the stewardship focus, so I haven't really been attempting to build buildings and upgrade things and to do stuff like that. So, fine spot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But Sean is right. You do want to kind of keep that.
Right.
Because Wales is kind of where you're at, so that is kind of one of those things where it is helpful to kind of keep that, because maybe Morganwig has 3.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been clicking on Wales. A lot of these have like just 2
Right.
plots. It's pretty poor, really.
Might be worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. Eventually, you want to become king of England, probably.
Right, that's the goal, right? In the meantime, I need to make some money. So, I'm at 5 out of 7 holdings. I really want to try and get Devon because I think it's strong. Cornwall too, whatever.
Yeah, Homeland.
But
Homeland.
yeah,
That's right.
Homeland, that's right. But am I able to take some of these holdings back in the meantime?
Like from
my
vassals,
vassals.
you mean?
Yeah.
You could.
Not
Usually,
included by-
right. Usually it does require a war. Like, you have to kind of like try to revoke it from them. Rarely are they like, oh yeah, I'll accept that. Usually they'll rise up against you, which you can do if you're strong enough to beat them. Then you can just kind of beat them down and then just take it from them. But usually you do get like some tyranny aspect to that, which is, you can kind of play around, but it's kind of has a little bit of a con. But yeah, I think we're in a good spot. And we'll do it again Thursday, maybe. Unless the baby has different ideas.
Right. Thursday maybe, unless the baby. Yep. No, I'll keep y'all on the loop. Yeah. I mean, I would like to say I would expect the baby to be here by then, but who knows?
Yep. Hard to say. We'll see. All right, boys.
All right, GG, guys.
GG's.